Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor P. Bhaskar Reddy, Department of Ancient Indian History, Culture and Archaeology, Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati. The subject you are studying is Indian culture and the paper is on socio-cultural history of India from earliest to 1707 AD. This particular module dealt to discuss the socio-cultural life of the Harappan people. The years 1921 and 22 marks an important epoch in the archaeological discoveries of India is concerned. In that years, the pioneers of archaeologists discovered the remains of an ancient civilization flourished in the Indian subcontinent, which belongs to 4,000 years back. The artifacts, archaeological remains, and several other material evidences reveal the existence of an urban phase of civilization with many socio-cultural advanced amenities. The efforts of archaeologists and historians, now we are able to understand various facets of Indus Valley civilization, particularly its origin, date, distribution, and besides the socio-economic, religious, cultural, and artistic excellence of the Indus people are concerned. In this particular module, we are able to understand the Indus Valley civilization, its discovery, and its significance, then followed by the features of the urban society of the Harappans in general manner, then the important sites of excavation and their importance in the study of the life and culture of the Indus Valley people, the social organization, the social structure, amusements, religious beliefs, and also the cultural life of the people are concerned. With these objectives, let us first discuss the general features of the Harappan civilization and its significance in the study of Indian history and culture. More than 4,000 years ago, there flourished a civilization in northwestern part of Indian subcontinent. This civilization and its name is derived from the main river of the region and is known as the Indus Valley civilization. The culture is also named after the important site Harappa, from where it came to be known as for the first time. Thus, this civilization is known both as Indus Valley civilization as well as Harappan civilization. This civilization belongs to the Chalcolithic phase of early Indian proto-history, which all the things reveal the development of Chalcolithic phase in the proto-historic phase of India is concerned. For a long time, it was a general belief of the scholars that Indian history began with the advent of Aryans. Later, with this discovery, there came a change in this assumption as the archaeologists have traced the gradual transformation of Indian society from a food gathering and hunting stage to a food production stage in a particular point of time. Around the 5th or 4th millennium BC, agricultural village settlement had emerged over many parts of northwestern subcontinent. Two among notable sites belongs to this phase is Mehergarh in Pakistan and Mundigak in Afghanistan. This incipient urban development was followed by the emergence of an expansive urban society of the Harappan civilization, which datable from 2300 BC to 1750 BCE. This civilization, which flourished during that period, it was decayed or declined due to various reasons, and that reasons were discussed already in the several modules of the previous papers. But in the year 1920-22, Sir John Marshall, the pioneer of the Indian archaeology, besides R.T. Banerjee and Dayaram Sahani, they discovered the remains of an ancient civilization at Mohenjo-daro. You know that the meaning of Mohenjo-daro is mound of dead. In the Larkan district of Sindh, and also in Harappa in the Montgomery district of Punjab. both these regions now in Pakistan. Once upon a time, Pakistan is also an Indian subcontinent up to our independence. Hence, it is called as a Indian subcontinent. After this discovery, in the words of Sir John Marshall, how he interpreted this new civilization as, with the discoveries in the Indus Valley, we have to revive our ideas of the antiquity of India's civilization. As early as 3000 BC itself, India was superior to the Western civilizations in city organization, where the material evidences are available to prove that the Indian civilization is great than in comparative with the other civilizations of the world, which the artifacts reveal all these facets. Before going to the other details, now we can shift our discussion to the sites of excavation, where the sites were exploited and their significance in the area of its distribution. At the time of the partition of India in 1947, hardly 40 settlements belonging to this civilization had come to limelight. But after independence, with the efforts of the scholars, both historians and archaeologists, over the last 50 years, brought into picture around 1,400 settlements, which these settlements yielded many artifacts. This resulted the changing the previous idea completely. Among these 1,400 sites, nearly 925 settlements are now in Indian part, and some 475 settlements are in Pakistan. Thus, this civilization, once upon a time, flourished in the northwestern part of India, comprising of both the present India and Pakistan. With the partition of the India, some of the settlements or some of the sites gone to Pakistan area, and some are in Indian premises. Regarding the area of this civilization is concerned, the area sprawled up to Suktangjar in Baluchistan in the west, Alangirpur in Meerut district of Uttar Pradesh in east, Daimabad in Ahmednagar district of Maharashtra in the south, and Manda in Aknur district, that is located in Jammu and Kashmir in the north. This is the vast civilization flourished in that particular boundaries, and it covered in total an area of about 12,50,000 square kilometers, and the settlements were mostly located on river banks, because in ancient India, majority of the settlements are located in the river valleys. They are good enough for their food production, food productivity, and various activities. Thus, many of these sites were found in the Gangetic Valley and Sindhu Valley rivers. Among the important sites which discovered by the archaeologists, which may around 1400, some are important sites which have potential materials to know about various amenities, including advanced civilization and also urban amenities. Among that, Harappan is an important archaeological Indus site which is now located in the Pakistan region. It is situated at a distance of about 170 kilometers to the west of Lahore. Regarding the importance of this Harappan site, according to A.L. Basham, the pioneer of Indian history, he quoted that Harappa was regarded as another capital of the Indus Empire. To date, among the major sites discovered similar to Harappa, mention may be made of Ganerwala, Raki Garhi, Chunhudaro, Lohanjdaro, Noh, Rupar, Kalibangan, Dholavira, and so on. All these were the important sites having similar features to compare the commonality of the urban civilization in all over the area which it was flourished. Each of these sites was surrounded by a vast agricultural lands to know about the agrarian economy, rivers as well as forests that were inhabited by different pastoral groups, which it may be a promotion of agricultural activity in the subcontinent, the bands of hunters and food gatherers. These are all says about the economic, socio life of the people of the Indus Valley people. In fact, the total area over which the civilization was flourished was more than 20 times the area of Egyptian civilization and more than 12 times the area put together the Egyptian and Mesopotamian civilizations. That itself shows that it is one of the greatest civilizations in the world which flourished as a contemporary of Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, and several others in the extension of the area and also in several features of its socio-economic and religious significance. With this background, now we may shift our discussion to know about what was the social organization and cultural life of the Indus Valley people. Coming to the social life is concerned, the ruins and various evidence of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, along with other sites, reveal a great deal about the socio-cultural life of the people of Indus Valley. An analysis of the findings give us sufficient information about their highly developed social life. The civilization itself was a glorious conglomeration of people of various origins. As the civilization centers around the city culture, the social life of the people bore touches of an urban influence which is visible in all matters of social life. Their civil life was highly disciplined and quite scientific in technical matters are also concerned. The inhabitants prefer to live in a proper hygienic atmosphere as is proved by their town planning and other systems, which we have discussed several times about their. Now, we may shift our discussion in brief to highlight what is their town planning and urban features of their standards of life. The Harappan cities and towns generally have two distinct sectors. The one is upper city or citadel, raised on a massive man-made mound, and the lower one is a town. The chief distinction between the two sections is that while the upper town or citadel has impressive public buildings like the Great Bath, a large assembly hall at Mohenjo-daro, granaries in Harappa, and also in several other sites, that is includes Mohenjo-daro. The lower town abounds in residential structures. That itself says that there were different classes of the people, but the higher strata of the people lived in the citadel or upper parts of the life, whereas the other people were lived in the normal city life. The houses also were characterized by a remarkable standardization of brick sizes, both burn and mud. Have a look at the character of the bricks and how the houses were built in the Harappan civilization. The well-planned roads among them and elaborate drainage system was probably due to the existence of an effective municipal authority which they maintained all the civic communities among the all classes of the society, which we have abundant information to prove that system of the Indus Valley people and all these technical skills and urban life enjoyed by the people. Based on that, we also able to reconstruct the social stratification of the Indus Valley people. So already we have discussed the different living standards and the towns. It also reflects the social stratification of the people and their categorization. The Harappan society seems to have been divided into three sections. The elite class associated with the citadel who are living in the upper side. And the other is a well-to-do middle class, and the third one is a relatively weaker class occupying the lower towns that were generally fortified. So this itself is a categories of or classes of the sections who lived in different standards of the life. Some of the craftsmen and laborers, however, reside outside the fortified area. It is known whether these divisions were based on purely on economic factors or had a socio-religious basis. We are not having any written or authentic proofs to prove that. But this is a classification where we are understandable because of the localities and the habitation of these classes. Particularly at the Kalibangan site of Harappan culture, it appears that the priests lived in a higher part of citadel and performed rituals on altars of fire in the lower part of it. The different aspects of Indian society show that the people led a high developed, peaceful, fun-loving and comfortable life. The social rules and norms were well regulated and their modes of living was well disciplined in all aspects. As a result, the social life of the Harappan people was simple and contented. Now we may discuss various socio-cultural institutions of the Harappan people, where we are getting that information from the remains of the Indus Valley sites, and the artifacts reveal that they have so many socio-religious and cultural amenities. One among them is the women. Women in Harappan society seems to enjoy high respect. They were treated equally by their male counterparts. Among that, one important chief feature of the Indus Valley regarding the women is concerned, the worship of Mother Goddess stands as clear proof to the esteemed position of Harappan women and their status. Have a figure of the Mother Goddess figure. On the examination of skulls and bones discovered during the excavation, it is known that people owing their origin to Proto-Australoid, Mongoloid, Mediterranean and Alpine stock lived in the Harappan cities. So that there were different groups of the people lived in the Harappan culture. This speaks of a considerably differentiated society with cosmopolitan features, where their burial practices, where their social practices, their religious practices are differ. This proves that the various groups of the people lived in the Harappan civilization. Coming to the socio-cultural aspects are concerned, the Harappans, who were essentially town dwellers, lived in a life of easy peace and prosperity. As the people of Harappan culture maintained a high standard of social life, they obviously enjoyed a good number of amenities of city life in all respects. Among the various features of urban amenities of the Harappan Valley, one important thing is the language and script which was practiced by the people of Indus Valley. Not a great deal is available to us about this because the Harappan script not yet deciphered, though many attempts were made to decipher its script language, but it in vain. But one thing it is proved that the Harappan people have the knowledge of script and language, which is a part and parcel of their mode of life. The language was in the nature of pictographic and was engraved on seals, copper tablets, bone, ivory, etc. Have a look at the nature of the script of the Indus Valley and also other things. Another important aspect which we have to discuss regarding the social life of the people is the food habits. We have several evidences in the form of granaries and also the grains were found in the excavations to prove the food habits what are prevailed in the Indus Valley people. Among that, the diet of the Harappan people consisted of both vegetarian and non-vegetarian dishes. Wheat was their staple food grain. Besides wheat, barley, date palm, maize and rice were also popular. Among the other food items, fish and non-vegetarian food were commonly used in all sections of the people. Milk was also a favorite drink. Different types of vegetables and fruits seems to have been known to the people of Indus Valley. Thus, this shows that the common food practices which we are enjoying today, all are known to the people of Indus Valley even 4,000 years back. Only the changes were occurred in the various points of history about our food practices. This is which we have to consider the continuity of the same institutions up to modern age. Next, coming to the other thing, we have interesting information about the dressing pattern of the Indus Valley people. So what type of dress they were known and other things we can tell now. Since the climate of the area was tropical, naturally people preferred to use garments conducive to tropical climate. Several figurines of males and females have been found at the excavation sites that give us a clear idea about their costumes. Cotton fabrics were in common use, though use of wool was not known to them. Thus, habits of Harappans were very simple. One statue shows the use of two pieces of cloth, one for upper portion and the other for the lower portion of the body. There was very little difference in the garments worn by both male and female. Have a look at the statue having the dressing pattern of Indus Valley people. Coming to the ornaments are concerned, they have very fashion oriented. They won various ornaments, and the archaeological remains also brought to light various ornaments belongs to Indus Valley people. Both men and women were fond of wearing various beautiful ornaments with beautiful manufacturing with artisticals. There were some common ornaments that were used by both men and women, like necklaces, fillets, armlets, rings, and bangles. Particularly, the ladies used some specific ornaments like girdles, nose studs, earrings, and anklets. There was a great variety in shape, design of making these ornaments. Having a look at the various ornaments discovered in the Harappan sites, which they give an idea about the skill of the makers and also the fashion conscious of the people. Besides that, the wealthy people used ornaments made of gold, silver, ivory, and other semi-precious stones. Ornaments of the poor were made of copper, bronze, shell, and terracotta. Beads of various designs and metals were also used in large numbers. Have a look at the bead and ornaments of the made with gold and silvers. Besides this, one more important feature of this period is the Harappan people were fashion consciousness. They know various beauty activities, and one important thing is toilet, which is meant for beautifying the persons in different ways. The Harappan people were fond of luxury and comfort. The discovery of ivory combs, bronze mirrors, and razors show the interest of the people in their own attire. Both men and women liked stylish combing of hair. They combed their hair into different braids. Men kept short beards and long whiskers, and sometimes the upper lip was shaved. Their hair was combed backwards and was either cut short or coiled into a knot on the top of the head. Have a look at their combs and hairpins and other things. The people know the art of toilet and cosmetics. Various toilet jars made up of ivory, metal, pottery, and stone have been discovered in various sites of the Indus Valley. They reveal about the toilet practices. Ladies were well acquainted with the toilet culture, particularly during this period. It appears that they knew the use of collyrium, powder, cream, and possibly lipstick too also, where some of the artifacts have lips with different colors. All this go on to prove that Harappans were quite conscious of their own beauty. We have similar interesting information about the amusements and recreations of the people of the age. Since the people of Harappan culture were city dwellers, they had various pastimes and recreations whereby they spent their leisure time in joyous and also in happy mode. They entertained themselves by playing indoor games like dancing, dicing, and singing. These are the important entertainments of the age. Further, hunting, fishing, arranging animal and bird fights formed other sources of amusement for both urban and rural areas. From the excavations, a number of toys made of copper, ivory, clay, and remarkable materials have to come to light. These toys were made in the shape of human beings and animals like bulls, monkeys, etc. Clay modeling was another major pastime, which it is a habit of the Harappan people, and beautiful clay models were available in different sites of excavations. Thus, it is noticeable that the people in Harappan society used to engage themselves in constructive hobbies with various amenities and customs which provide certain enjoyment to the people of them. Another important thing which we have to discuss is the archaeological remains provides abundant information about household articles which was used by the people of India, which they also reveal the life of the people and their household articles. Number of household items used by the Harappans have been unearthed in different sites. They were made of gold, silver, copper, and bronze also. These people did not know the use of iron. Most probably at that time they have not the knowledge of the usage of iron. Earthen vessels of exquisite designs prepared by the potter's wheel show the technical skill of the people. Have a look at buff terracotta footed cup with a wide mouth decorated with brown painted designs. The surface of these articles was fine and polished, and they were at times ornamented with the figurines of birds, animals, trees, and clay knobs. It must be, however, be noted that Harappan pottery was mass produced with little preference for new and innovative shapes and designs. Among the earthen pots, the commonly used articles included plates, dish with stand, bowls, goblets, pans, saucers, jars, pitchers, jars with covers, etc., etc. All these were the part and parcel of their domesticated or their household articles. Many tools of practical utility like needle, axe, saw, sickle, knife, fishing hook, bedstead, stool, and chair have also been found in the form of toys, which they reveal that they are all the part and parcel of their life. This shows that they used cots, mats, and reeds also. It is interesting that for children, clay figures of men, women, and clay carts with wheel were made in large numbers, which we have several examples which were discovered in the various sites. These household items show the Harappans' artistic bent of mind. They made paintings of black on redware. Several seals of terracotta with artistic designs bear evidences of their refined taste and also skill. Pictorial motifs and geometrical designs found on various articles point out the artistic skill of Harappan inhabitants. All this proves that the Harappan society and their life is so advanced in comparative with the other civilizations. Obviously, we have the information about the artistic activities also. The artistic acumen of the Indus Valley people is evident from their arts and crafts in stone as well as baked clay. The seals intaglios from the Indus Valley sites form a class by themselves. Again, a vast number of terracotta figurines have been excavated, generally of human and animal figures. Have a look at their seals having with animals and also various figurines, which was seems to be a terracotta figures. Further, it is interesting to say that from Mohenjo-daro, a figure was found with a bare-headed man carved in statite. It has a bordered chin and a shaved upper lip, while the eyes are narrowed as if in contemplation. Have a look at that features of the Harappan men having with chin and also garments and other sense, which gives about the shape of the people and also characteristic features of their personality. The dancing figure, it is another important artifact which we have to mention about the artistic skill of the age. The dancing figure from Mohenjo-daro, which is in bronze, is a remarkable one. Its right hand rests on the hip, while the left arm, covered with bangles, hangs loosely in a relaxed stance. This is a beautiful bronze statue bronze sculpture found in the Harappan area, which gives an impression about the peculiar artistic skill of the Harappan period. Besides that, the excavations also reveal various weapons that were used by the people of Indus Valley. Although the Harappans were a peace-loving people, they used various weapons for self-defense. These weapons included axes, spears, daggers, bows, and arrows, and were made of many with copper or bronze materials. Their inferior quality suggests that the Harappan soldiers were not very advanced in the art of warfare. They are very peace-loving people. Swords, shields, helmets, or any such protective gears were not used. That itself shows also that they are the peace-loving people. Then we have also interesting information about the conscious of the health and medicines of the Indus Valley people, which we gathered from the same excavations. There is little knowledge about the drugs and medicines used by the Harappan people. The horns of the deer and antelope were used as medicines. The use of neem as an anti-phthoric medicine was also known to the people of the Indus Valley. Their limited medical knowledge helped them to cure themselves to some extent. That shows that they are very healthy people and they lived with standards of life and security. Coming to the another aspect, we have also abundant information about the domestication of animals, which was known to the people of Indus Valley. It is also very interesting that in the ancient period, for the promotion of agriculture, domestication of animals is important. And also it is a part and parcel of their life activities. The people know the art of domesticating animals for their personal use. These animals which they were known or domesticated were bulls, buffaloes, sheep, pigs, dogs, elephants, and camels. They used carts drawn by bullocks also. However, it is doubtful whether the horse was domesticated or not. We don't have any evidence about it. It is also evident that the Harappans were familiar with even wild animals like tigers, bears, rhinoceros, squirrels, and monkeys, where we are getting several toys related to that animals. There are enough evidence to prove that all these are known to the people and they were domesticated. Besides that, we also have interesting information about their social institutions, about particularly the practice of disposal of dead. What is the belief in the disposal of the dead? We have much information in the form of burial grounds, where we have several information. Different methods of disposing the dead were practiced. The common method of disposing the dead was burial. Cemeteries have been also found at Harappa, Lothal, and Kalibangan. The general practice was the fully extended burial with the head to the north and the body lying on its back. Same procedure even today we are practicing while burying the dead body. This says about the continuation of the practice with change. While burying the dead body, grave goods consisting of potteries and ornaments were also deposited, where in various expressions they were fought. Besides that, at Harappa, traces of coffin burial with reed shrouds have been also reported. Sometimes graves took the shape of a brick chambers or cis, as seen in the Kalibangan. Occasionally, bones were also deposited in pits with burials. Lothal has yielded the evidence of a queer practice of a burial and a double burial, the latter consisting of a male and a female in a single grave side by side. That is a very important, interesting information about the how they were buried after the death of a person. So thus, we have sufficient information in the form of artifacts and also archaeological remains to know about various social institutions of the Harappan people. Besides that, social institutions, we have similar interesting information about the religious beliefs and religious practices of the Harappan people. Though to know about the religious practice, we don't have much abundance. The same artifacts reveal the religious practices that was followed by the Harappan people. The people of Harappan society was deeply religious in nature. The abundance of material remains from the Harappan sites helps us to form ideas about the practical aspect of their religious faith. One of the most important aspects of Harappan religion was worship of Mother Goddess. A large number of terracotta figurines in various porches have been unearthed from the ruins of various Harappans. These statues are believed to be of Mother Goddess. Most of these images are shown wearing elaborate head dresses. One interesting seal from Harappa shows one female figure standing upside down with outstretched legs and a tree spouting from her womb. With that evidence, scholars opine that she symbolizes the goddess of fertility or plant goddess. In another seal, we find a female figure with upraised arms before whom stands a man brandishing a sword. This posture leads the historians to conclude that some form of sacrifice was prevalent among the Harappans. Besides, Yatharan images of pregnant women, women carrying children, etc., are ample proof of worship of Mother Goddess because she was believed to be the source of creation and energy. Besides the Mother Goddess, we have also similar information about the worship of God. Another important religious belief among the Harappans was the worship of male god. In one particular seal, we find a male figure seated across-legged, ethiphallic, his two arms touching the pair of knees. The figure has a prominent and trident-shaped headgear and is shown with at least 3 faces. Several animals surrounded him. This explains to a certain extent that the later concept of the master of animals known as Pasupatin. Hence, he is often identified with Proto-Shivapati and scholars consider he as the Pasupati. Similarly, another seal describes the picture of a god in the same yogic posture with a Naga kneeling in prayer before him with uplifted hands on either side, probably representing the worship of the same deity. Besides the gods and goddesses, there was another practice of worshipping nature also, which was known to the people of Indus Valley, which is called as animism. That is the nature of the worship prevailed in India before the advent of Vedic culture. Animal worship was another typical feature of Arab religious belief along with gods and goddesses. Worship of certain common animals like elephants, rhinoceroses, tigers and bulls was quite prevalent. Worship of Naga deity or serpent worship was equally in vogue. But among all animals, bull worship was most prominent, where the bull figure were found in many their stated sealings. However, the absence of cow on the seals is very conspicuous. We don't have any information about whether they worship the cow or not. We have to wait for further evidences. There is also the image of an imaginary unicorn in different shape in some seals. Besides that, the Harappan people have also habit of belief in worship of trees and nature. The Harappan people followed the practice of the worship of stones, trees and animals because they believed that they were the abodes of various spirits, good or bad. The Harappan belief system certainly includes the veneration for the pipal tree and the pipal leaf, which still we are considering it is a sanctity. Pipal leaf designs are commonly applied on pottery too. That itself shows that it is a very, they have a peculiar belief on peepal tree. One seal portrays a peepal tree with prominent leaves along with a pair of unicorn heads. An elaborately carved seal from Mohenjo-daro presents a deity in a peepal tree with a fish sign and a large marker goat. A kneeling figure to the right of the deity probably represents the worshipper. At the bottom of the seal, 7 women, most probably 7 priestesses, are shown standing in a queue. Some scenes on the seal may have some parallel to Mesopotamian mythology also. All this says about the several practices of their beliefs and religious faith which was practiced by the people of Indus Valley in 4000 years back itself. Later things are the changes in the religious faith. Besides that, we have also some information about the other practices of the Indus Valley. The existence of great bath at Mohenjo-daro, the profusion of wells in Harappan cities in general, and the regular presence of baths in residential houses cannot but impress upon the importance of water for purification and ablution. The remains of few oval structures containing ash were found at Kalibangan. These structures were made on a series of high brick platforms constructed in citadel area. A well and bathing places also stood close by these citadels. This complex probably was a civic ritual center where animal sacrifice, ritual ablution, and some sort of fire ritual were practiced. Thus, the Harappan civilization was potential civilization which the discoveries which were brought to limelight, they are useful to understand various social, religious, and also cultural institutions of the age. All the institutions, it seems to be a urban nature, advanced life, and many are still we are practicing. With the availability of abundance material, the scholars are using their efforts to make it as a superior civilization, and still much more work is going on to understand various unknown facets of Indian heritage and culture preserved in the form of ruins of the Indus Valley of Indian subcontinent. Now, we may conclude our lesson. To what extent the Harappan civilization left a legacy on later Indian way of life is a matter of scholarly debate. Whether this was a continuous practice, because we don't have any connectivity between the Indus Valley civilization and Aryan culture. And all the things which were developed after Aryan culture, now they are considered as the continuity of Aryan ideals and Indus. But with the discovery of Indus Valley civilization, we have to rethink that the Indus Valley civilization is the earliest civilization, and we know all the amenities, which was, it is a continuous one. Aryan civilization, it is another civilization which was also included in some parts of the Indian subcontinent, later became very popular. So this is a debate among the scholars. While one group argues for continuity in many traditions first seen among the Harappans, some other scholars discount any possibility of survival or revival of the urban Harappan culture in the subsequent urban development in the subcontinent. So thus, we have to go further and to find out the further evidences to prove the connectivity of urban culture and the impact of Aryan culture, which was developed later, and the continuity of and intermingling of several cultures into present state. So thus, it is a debatable question. We are not sure about to answer all these things. For more details of this topic, you go through the e-text. Thank you.